is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. We're learning more about a Jamestown man accused of kidnapping and raping a teenage girl. Court documents say that last Thursday, a 15-year-old was walking near the Buffalo Motel when she was approached by Samuel Mitleiter. The documents state that he took her clothes off and assaulted her in the bathroom of his motel and started choking her when she tried to get away, then sat armed in front of the door for nearly an hour so she couldn't leave. He's charged with felony gross sexual imposition, aggravated assault, felonious restraint, and 2 counts of ingesting a controlled substance. We have new information on a crash that killed a young man in the metro. Fargo police have now identified the driver of the suspect's vehicle. It's 19-year-old Elijah Wiesens. Police say he crashed into 21-year-old Isaiah Johnson, killing him. This all happened early Saturday morning in North Fargo. Police say alcohol likely played a role in the crash. In Bemidji tonight, police are asking for your help finding a missing teenage girl. Authorities say 13-year-old Kaya Hawk was last seen at the Walmart in town on Saturday, and police say it appears she left the area voluntarily. She is described as about 5'3", 115 pounds with brown eyes and brown hair. She was last seen wearing a red hooded sweatshirt and black Nike shoes. If you see her, call police at the number on your screen, 218-333-9111. Fargo's mask mandate is set to expire this week. Whether or not that'll happen is up in the air. The City Commission is meeting to discuss the mandate tomorrow afternoon. Tune in for the latest tomorrow on Valley News Live at 4 and have our VNL News app handy. Now, here's a first look at our weather with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch.
Stacy, it is over. The stretch of sub-zero weather and days in Fargo is done, and it feels great to say 10 days here in Fargo. Now, yesterday, you remember or recall that Grand Forks made it to above zero, so a 9-day stretch there, but 0 or below for 10 days here in Fargo. Here is a look at your peak temperatures today. So far in Fargo, 2, 5 in Grafton. Rolla and Devil's Lake still sub-zero, although there is a chance yet in the next half hour to hour you could see temperatures hit 0. Wind chill advisory shrinking in aerial coverage. And that's a good sign as we have wind chills between 3 below in Bemidji and 21 below in Devil's Lake. The wind is a little stronger out to the west tonight, driving those wind chills into cooler realms. 0 in Fergus Falls, 1 in Oaks, and in Roseau, 1 degree at this hour. Your forecast in Fargo and beyond shows sub-zero temperatures approaching 10 below. Could have a few clouds as you see looking out to the west there from our tower cam building in tonight. More on what those may do in your forecast here in a bit, but it does look like our moderate weather is on the way. We'll have details on how quickly we warm up, what you can expect in your backyard as we go into your forecast here in just a little month.
I can't believe it. Could it finally be over, Hutch? That's amazing.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Thanks so much. Well, Fargo police are reminding drivers to watch their speed after a crash involving 3 vehicles this afternoon. It happened just after 12:30 in the 400 block of University Avenue. Police say a car was speeding in a residential area, weaving in and out of traffic when it hit another car that was turning onto the same street. The driver then hit a parked unoccupied vehicle. No one was seriously hurt. The driver was given a $60 ticket for speeding. People in the Carl Ben Eielson neighborhood are asking everyone to be on the lookout for a porch pirate. This incident, caught on camera, happened around 1 p.m. yesterday. The suspect is wearing a black flat brim hat, a green hoodie with jeans, and black athletic shoes. The vehicle is possibly a Buick, maybe a LaCrosse model that's 2010 or newer. If you have any information, you're asked to report it to police. In your COVID-19 vaccine coverage this afternoon, more than 163,000 doses of the vaccine have been administered in North Dakota, nearly 1 million in Minnesota. So far, 240,000 Minnesotans are fully vaccinated. That's a little more than 4% of the state's total population. You can find today's COVID numbers scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Despite experiencing delays, Moderna says it expects to meet its commitment to the U.S. government for all ordered doses of its coronavirus vaccine. Moderna says short-term delays in the final stages of production and release of filled vials at a contractor recently led to delay of the release of some doses. The company says it still expects to meet its promise of 100 million doses by the end of March. Moderna also says it has moved up the delivery for the second 100 million doses from the end of June to the end of May. Staying on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information is easy. Just use our VNL vaccine tracker. To check it out, visit our website or simply open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. President Biden is extending the ban on housing foreclosures during the pandemic. The moratorium on foreclosures of federally guaranteed mortgages has been set to expire March 31st. The White House announced this morning that it's now been extended until June 30th. The president has also extended the enrollment window to request a mortgage payment forbearance, which allows borrowers to pause or reduce mortgage payments until June 30th. The actions announced today don't address a moratorium on evictions of tenants who've fallen behind on rent. That program is set to expire at the end of next month. The cost of fuel continues to creep up. According to AAA, the average price of a gallon of gas is $2.50. That's up 4 cents from a week ago and 13 cents from a month ago, and it'll likely keep rising. Crude oil futures are higher and could reach more than $60 a barrel for the first time since the early days of the pandemic. On top of that, winter weather Monday forced many Texas oil refineries to close, including the world's largest refinery in Port Arthur. Social media platform Parler is back online. Parler says its service is back for current users this week, and new users will be able to sign up next week. Amazon pulled the plug on Parler last month over its unwillingness to remove posts they say incited violence. Google and Apple removed Parler's app from their online stores for the same reason. The decision followed the deadly attack at the U.S. Capitol. The Red River Valley Fair has announced their opening night headliner for this summer. The rock band Skillet will open the grandstand stage on Friday, July 9th. Tickets will go on sale on the fair's website next Friday, February 26th. They cost $25 and will include your admission to the fair. The fair will run July 9th through 18th at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo. And a reminder, college football is back. The Bison will take on Youngstown State on Sunday for their first game of the spring season. The Farmers Union Insurance pregame show starts at 1:30, taking you all the way up to kickoff at 2:30. And you can catch all the action on KVLY. Thousands of households across North Dakota and Minnesota had their power cut off today without any kind of warning. This leaves many people worried about the possibility of their power going out again. Valley News Team's Brian Sherrod joins us live now with details about what happened and what power companies say needs to happen going forward.
Well, good afternoon, Stacy. You're right. A lot of people were saying that they were just disappointed with what was going on, and they're feeling like they just weren't able to be told everything that was going on because of the power outage. And excuse me, I'll try to go through my script because my phone has been freezing up. But what we can tell you, excuse me, is that there was just a lot of huge demand when it comes to that power. They were having issues because first in Moorhead, they were told that at 9:20 that the power was going to be out. At 9:54 is when the public was able to find out if they were on social media, and then right at 10 o'clock was when they saw the power cut off on them, and they weren't sure when the power was going to come back or even for how long. Even talking to North Dakota's commission as well, they were saying the same thing. She was literally taking a shower whenever the power cut off, but she of course works in the field, so she was able to determine what it was, and she even breaks it down for us with how this works.
Demand for power has to equal the supply of the power at all times. And so when the grid operators are generating as much power as they possibly can, as they are in this situation, and quite honestly, a lot of the renewables that customers have been investing in heavily over the last 5 to 10 years, they didn't show up in this situation, because the wind isn't blowing and the sun isn't shining. So the renewables are only providing just a small fraction of the power that's demanded right now.
So hospitals and care facilities can't afford to go through this kind of outage again without being told, just because they have a lot of lives at risk. So for them, it's a dire emergency whenever this happened. Also letting you know that they're saying there needs to be better communication between the grid operator and the utilities so that people, like the customers, can have more time to prepare themselves when it comes to getting their power back, or even if the power goes out, they're able to make those negotiations or what do they have to do to make it work for them. They're also saying that if and when it does happen again, reduce your power outage. Don't leave your freezers and your fridges open. Don't have your power turned on if you necessarily don't need it. Conserve as much power as you can, because again, this could happen today, this could happen tonight, this could happen even tomorrow. They're unsure at this time, but they want to make sure everyone's prepared when they do find out. Stacey, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Brian. We'll obviously continue to update you on all of that. And millions of people across the country tonight still without power. Next, we'll take a look at the brutal cold snap that's causing all of this.
Clear skies and cold weather here in the valley. I'll have details on our warm-up for your Wednesday forecast coming up right after this.